Well, hello folks, this is Daugherty the Christian Whistleblower, and we're here for another, I guess it's really a revelation, another word of knowledge type of broadcast, talking about the 144,000, and we've been told so much and fed so much dung from that we've grown to like the taste of dung, and we have grown unable to get the answer and to really discern what is true from what is false, except for those of us, as we talked about in our last broadcast, that are tuning into the DNA, that were there to hear the original, or that are tuning into our DNA, which was produced when we were there, or by the people that were there to hear the original. So either way, there are those that have ears to hear, and there are those that do not have ears to hear. And we're really here to talk to those that have the ears to hear. And I want to let you know that all of my ebooks are on sale right now. Maybe just today, maybe today and tomorrow for $1.99. $1.99 for any and all of my books in ebook form, all 9 of them. And they're there for you for just $1.99. You get them at JeffreyDaugherty.com, ChristianWhistleBlower.com, and I'll put a link in the box below. And please subscribe to the channel, please like the video, please share the video. And let's go ahead and take a look at this whole idea of the 144,000, one of the great mysteries, if you will, of the Bible, which is very, very simple, very, very easy, and very, very plain to understand, although we'll start someplace which I think will probably surprise you. All right, so here we go with the 144,000. And most of you know that's in Revelation 14. And you're probably wondering, well, why in the world is he starting in Acts chapter 10? Well, it's called Bible study. It's called actual research. It's called actual scholarship. And the reason why we want to look at it is for this. Look at Acts chapter 10, verse 34. Then Peter, who of course was an apostle of the Lord. Acts is kind of a dodgy book. You really have to have your thinking cap on, your spiritual discernment cap on, because Acts was written by Luke, but most of it was dictated by Paul. So you have to bear that in mind as you're looking and reading. So you got to be able to dig through the trough, and those of you that listened to the last couple broadcasts will know what I'm talking about. But then Peter opened his mouth, and he said, "Of a truth, I perceive that God is no respecter of persons, but in every nation he has people." So Peter said God is not a respecter of persons. And if we look at the interlinear on this, in verse 1034, so I want you to understand clearly what respecter of persons is. Let's widen this up just a little bit. Wouldn't you know it? You got something important to say, it wants to mess up with you. So anyway, he said in Acts 10:34, "I know of a certainty that God is not one that shows partiality." And if you look at the word, it means shows partiality, respects their persons, acceptor of a faith. So God, the gods, more properly, the Elohim, are not beings that are looking for and that are respecters of persons. They are impartial as it applies to people. So think about that. Verse 1034, God, the true God, the real God, is not a person that shows partiality to people, but he has people in every nation. He has people in every single nation. The real God has people in every single nation. So God, and I'm at the risk of being redundant, God has people, the gods, the Elohim, have people in every nation, and they are not respecters of persons. They don't pick and choose amongst people. They value every person equally. Okay? So the gods of Peter, one of the original apostles of the Christ, that God does not respect people. Let's take a look at another God. Let's look at Romans chapter 11. And let's say, look at this. Here's Paul saying, has God cast away his people? Wait a second. God is not supposed to have a people, because the gods are no respecter of persons. But yet here's a God that has a people, Israel, seed of Abraham, tribe of Benjamin. God has not cast away his people, which he foreknew. So not only does this God, in Romans chapter 11, have a people, he's got a particular people, Israel, and he foreknew them. So the God of Acts chapter 10, the Elohim, the gods and goddesses, plural, male and female, they are not respecter of persons. They do not judge you based upon your color, your creed, your nationality. They're the ones that the little Sunday school song's really about. The Elohim love all the children of the world. Red and yellow, black and white. We're all precious in their sight. The Elohim love the little children of the world. But this God right here, he has a people. He has a chosen people, Israel. We've all heard that. The Jews are the chosen people. The chosen people of who? Peter's God, the God of the Christ, the God the Christ came to represent, that God, those gods, do not respect people, do not show favoritism, as the original Greek says, between people. But Paul's God, the God of the dung of the New Testament, your God, the God that you're worshiping right now. Does that make you uncomfortable? Good. It should make you uncomfortable, because if you're still at this point in this age defending this bloodthirsty, jealous, people-choosing God, then you're probably already lost for this cycle. You might as well just go ahead and do whatever you want to do, because if you haven't got it by now, you're probably not going to get it. If you're still at the place where you're defending Yahweh, the baby killer, Yahweh, the child killer, Yahweh, the woman killer, Yahweh, the man killer, Yahweh, the one that picks and chooses between people unfairly, the God that stacked the deck against you. If you're still defending that God this late in the game, you might as well give up, because you're done for this go-round. And you better just hope and pray that somehow you get another chance. But for this level of this wave of enlightenment, you're probably finished. You might be finished for good. I don't know. But if you continue to defend this rat bastard, fallen, bloody, murderous God, who is prejudiced, he's a racist. Yahweh is a racist God. Yahweh is a bigoted God. Why? Because he picked a certain people. And it shows him directly in opposition to the Elohim. The Elohim, Acts chapter 10, we are not bigoted. We are not racist. We love everybody the same way. Yahweh of Romans 11, Jehovah, Marduk, the Lord, whatever you want to call that rat bastard. I just call him rat bastard. Fallen rat bastard, killer God. He is a racist, because he picked out one people. And not only that, he's sexist, because he hates women. It says women should shut up and not say anything in church. They should never have authority over man. That women are such sex-crazed animals, and that's what they were created for, was the pleasure of the man, and that they if without a man, they'll be having sex with all kind of spirits. Paul said it. Yahweh's guy, don't get mad at me. Because if you're mad at me for saying that stuff, you're really mad at yourself for being stupid enough to buy it and defend it. Because I didn't say it. Paul said it. So anyway, this God, Yahweh, Jehovah, the Lord, he is sexist. He is racist. He's picked out a people called Israel. But not only that, now he's also got another group, the Gentiles. Now, if you want to be part of the club, the God ain't changing, the Lord ain't changing, Yahweh ain't changing, Jehovah ain't changing. He's just as big a rat bastard as he's ever been, probably more. But now, here's a chance. He's running a special. The Jews are his chosen people, the Israelites. But now, if you act fast, you can sell your soul to him and be engrafted in. You can join the other races. You can join the other sexists. Haven't been yelling much lately. So even, oh, that was just the Old Testament, Jeff. You've got to understand, Jeff, that I'm an apologist now. I'm a Christian pastor and minister, theologian. Well, Jeff, you just have to understand that that was the economy of the Old Testament and the Old Covenant, wherein Yahweh chose out a people to call his own, a people of his name. But in the New Testament, in the New Covenant, in the new economy of grace, why, of course, God has not chosen a people. You lying, stupid, ignorant, whitewashed fence moron. Romans, let me check. Is that New Testament? You know what it is. God still has a people in the New Testament. And not only one, now he's got two peoples. So he's a double racist. So don't give me your crap. Because this is about unwinding your mind. I'm coming to you at the speed of light. And some of you can't keep up. That's okay. If you can't, it's not for you. So anyway, I thought you were going to talk about the 144,000, Jeff. Well, we are. Here's the point. The God of the Bible, racist, has chosen people. The Elohim, the true gods, don't differentiate between people. They are not differentiating between people. What's the word that we had back there in the word has escaped me in Acts. They're not come on. I hate it when this happens. Acts 10 in verse 34. Let's go to interlinear so I can see exactly what we're talking about, because we want to know what Yahweh does, what the Lord does, what Jehovah does, that the Elohim do not do. They don't show partiality. They're impartial. And don't we all want a fair shake? Don't you want a level playing field? Don't you want, especially with a divinity, to just be judged by who you are and not by what you look like, what you sound like, what you feel like? Don't you want partiality from everyone, but especially don't you want partiality from your God, from your deity, from the Elohim? You get it from the Elohim, you don't get it from Yahweh. Hubba hubba, do you trust? Who are you going to follow? Who you choose this day who you're going to serve. Now, with that in mind, we are equipped to understand the 144,000. Alrighty, so as promised, the 144,000, and this is interesting, that the 144,000 appears in Revelation 14. Kind of interesting, huh? But anyway, if you followed me for any length of time and listened to me for any length of time, you'll understand, and if you've read Final Message of the Last Apostle, which is now available for $1.99, You can't even get coffee for $1.99. Speaking of which, so now our books are on sale. Every book I've written, 8 or 9 of them, $1.99 for the ebook version. JeffreyDaugherty.com, ChristianWhistleBlower.com. Click on the link below. So now, having understood that the Elohim do not show partiality. Only the rat bastard Yahweh, Jehovah, Lord shows partiality. He's the racist. He's the elitist. The Elohim are not. So here's John, and if you followed me a lot, you know that the book of Revelation, if you've read Final Message of the Last Apostle, you'll know the book of Revelation is probably the most symbolic book in a compilation, an anthology of symbolic books. The book of Revelation has more gematria, more numerology, more arcane symbolism than arguably any other book within the 66 book anthology that we call the Bible. I almost said of all of them all together, but that might be pressing the point, but you know what I mean. So we're going to show you what the 144,000 means based upon what we just understood from Acts chapter 10 and Romans chapter 11, the dichotomy between the true Elohim gods of the Bible and the rat bastard fallen Lord Yahweh Jehovah. Okay. I looked and I saw, and again, a lot of this is done, but I looked and I saw 144,000 with the Father's name written in their foreheads. 144,000, great thunder, many waters, voice of harpers. Who are these 144,000? They are those that are redeemed from the earth. They are redeemed from among men. They are redeemed from among all men. They are redeemed from all the earth. So again, what we're looking at is a number, 144,000, redeemed by the Elohim. How do we know it's the Elohim and not Yahweh? Well, we see that these are ones that were chosen from among all men, not specific men. We see that these were from every tribe and these were from every nation, not from particular tribes. So we see that the 144,000 standing on, a spiritual place of victory. These are people coming from many different places. These are people coming from many different creeds. These are people that follow the truth, and they're redeemed from among men. Let's look at Revelation 14:4 for just a second in the interlinear. Now see, I haven't looked at this, and most of these teachers, they're afraid to do this because what if it doesn't back up what you're saying? Revelation 14:4. They have been redeemed from out of men. Out of means taken out of, taken from among. From among what? Well, they've been taken from among men. Let me move this stupid thing up a little bit so we don't have that problem. They've been taken from among men. What's men? The human race. Snap. That's why I'm good. That's why I'm the Christian whistleblower. That's why we're bringing you stuff that ain't been heard in 2,000 years. And that's why a lot of these people are fighting against me. I'm about to get fired up again. But no. From both genders and from the whole human race. You know what? It is good to be good. It really is. It's good to be good. So let's go back to Revelation 14:4. So these have been redeemed both male and female, from the entire human race. So, we know that these redeemed then are from who? These redeemed are from the Elohim. These are those redeemed from the Elohim, redeemed from both sexes, male and female, and redeemed from out of the entire human race. Not from the chosen people of Yahweh, Israel, the Jews, not from the engrafted idiots that joined up into Yahweh's club of killers. It's all the blood worshippers. It's all the blood magic, blood sacrifice, poor souls that still, and this is the thing that makes me wonder. Okay, let's get into what the 144,000 means. 144. Now, if the Elohim created all these billions of people and only 144,000 of them made it, what would you call the Elohim? I'd call them failures. Epic failures. And even Jehovah, Yahweh, the Lord has got more than 144,000. I mean, there's a billion Catholics, a billion Protestants. He's got that's way more than 144,000 bitches following him. And I mean that pejorative in the widest possible application, so don't get on me about sexism. So 144,000 couldn't possibly really mean just 144,000. I mean, even the Jehovah's Witnesses ran into trouble with that when they got more than 144,000. And when they started knocking door to door, they never imagined they'd get 144,000 followers. But when they surpassed that, they had to do some fancy retranslation. So, again, Revelation being the very, very symbolic book, full of gematria, full of Pythagorean interpretation, full of Gnosticism, and this is all good stuff in my opinion. The book of Revelation is probably the most realistic expression of the original New Testament writers and the original Yeshua movement, the movement of the Christ, in that it incorporated so many different schools of thought. And they're incorporated here in Revelation. So 144,000. Now let's go old school here, all right? And let's just go old school and let's look at this right here. 1 plus 4 plus 4 equals 9. And then would you agree that 9 plus 0 equals 9? So the 144,000 is really 9. The 144,000 in numerology, in terms consistent with the book of Revelation, is 9. So what John saw was the 9. Well, why didn't he just write 9? Well, remember, this is written for those with ears to hear and eyes to see. If you write it 144,000, you get a bunch of dummies, and really, I should feel more sorry for these people, but I get nailed by them every day in my email, so my empathy, and really my give a damn is busted. That's the real truth of it. But if you put it at 144,000, you allow the people that don't have ears to hear, don't have eyes to see, that aren't ready to get it, you let them fight and make up a bunch of stories and do a bunch of stuff and not understand the truth because they're just not ready. But 9, 1 plus 4 plus 4, like we're seeing in the calculator, 9 is the number of what? It's the number of completion. It's the number of fullness. And this is why it makes me wonder, and I'm not a doom and gloom kind of guy, but the number 9 is the culmination of all the other numbers 1 through 8 added together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't mean it adds up to that, but it has all the attributes of all those numbers. So it's a number of completion. It's a number of fullness, this 9 is. So that shows us that, at least for this group of humanity, that, why did the Christ come some 2,000 years ago and give us this information that he's given us. 9 seems to be a number, it is a number of completion, and when John sees 9, both men and women, from out of the entirety of humanity, and that word, as we saw, doesn't just mean humanity then present, but it means humanity from start to finish. So John saw the 9, the completion, the fullness, the completed attributes of all humanity. From arguably in our reckoning Genesis 1:1 all the way through here, John sees them, at least in a spiritual sense. So that's what makes me wonder. Yes, it's completeness. Yes, it's fullness. But is it also completeness and fullness of humanity from all time? Is this the last rodeo for this group of cows? That's us. Cows and horses and whatever else you have in rodeos. Is this our last rodeo? Is this the universal finals rodeo? I've been to the national finals rodeo in Vegas before. Is this our last rodeo? Metaphorically, of course. Have we been through so many times that, I mean, this is it. Is this why the Christ came? To get us ready for this? Is this our last go round? If we don't get it here, are we not going to get it? Some are just refusing to raise their vibrations, and is it a situation where you go around and around and around and around, and if you just ultimately won't raise your vibration, you're not going to make it? You'll just go down into those low vibrations and stay there? I don't know. But what I do know is the 144,000 is the 9, and it is a group of completed, perfected people ready to move on to the next level, and it's people of the Elohim, because we've seen that it's people, male and female, from all of humanity. So forget about all the stupid speculations you hear about this 144,000. If someone is not talking about this as being 9, then you should say 9, little German for you, that means no, to their teaching. It's not 144,000, it's 9. And if they don't know that, then they really don't have anything to teach you about this passage. Fullness, completeness, spirituality, love for brethren, acceptance, ready to move up, ready to move on. Google 9 in numerology, 9 in gematria, and you will see that this is exactly what the 144,000 are. This is exactly what we're talking about. Go ahead, as soon as this is over, I dare you. Google it, look it up, and you'll see exactly what I mean. All right, I decided to be really nice to you, and I hate to just spoon feed people. I hate to do all of your research for you, but we did want to close out and make this make sense to you and make it easy. So I looked up, I did what I said for you to do, and I'm not necessarily wanting to pimp this site. I wish I hadn't put their name there, because I don't get anything from it. I don't know if they're particularly good, but this information is at least accurate. In numerology, number 9 is a symbol of wisdom and initiation, and of course wisdom, combined wisdom of humanity and initiation, ready to move to the next level, ready to be initiated into the next phase of our development as beings. And in fact, look at here, it says that it's the last number before the next, harmony. So 144, 9, it shows a wise bunch of people, a bunch of people ready for initiation, a bunch of people, and it is male and female from all humanity, ready to move to the next harmony. Are we ready to move at the time of Revelation 14 into Elohim status? And again, like I shared with you, it has all the qualities of the numbers 1 through 8. And if you add up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you get 36. If you add 3 plus 6, you get 9. So it does add up to 9. Even though it doesn't add up to 9, I know some of you said, that doesn't, he said it adds up to 9. It doesn't add up to 9. Well, it does in numerological reality. 1, 2, 3, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, 6, 7 plus 8. I don't think we need to do that on the calculator. You get 36. If you add, well, you know what? What the heck? We got nothing else to do, right? So, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 equals 36. 3, clear that, 3 plus 6 equals 9. Hot diggity damn. It's true. The number 9 is highly spiritual. The number 9 holds the path towards mystical knowledge. It's about spiritual comfort. It's about the soul. It's about material goods having no value. It's seeing the imperfection of the world and being idealistic. It is about feeling alienation in the world. It's about having potential of birth, and it's about ready to rock and roll. It's about ready to move on. So the number 9, as we see, really has all of the, it's a number of completion. It's a number of finality. It's a highly spiritual number. Wisdom, initiation, finality, ready to move on to the next thing. So, and no one else shows you this stuff. I'm showing you what I'm talking about so you know, even though I've got 100,000 hours of study, even though I've got a Bible college degree, I'm showing you where I get my information from, so you can unindoctrinate yourself. All right, let's go ahead and wrap this up now. Whew. So a lot there on that one, huh? A lot of great information. Information proving that the Elohim, the true gods of the Bible, do not show partiality towards nations, individuals, creeds, colors, races, or sexes. But the fallen rat bastard Yahweh, Jehovah, Marduk, Lord, does show partiality. He's racist, he's sexist, he's a murderer. And if you want to follow that kind of God, that's up to you. It's the nicest thing I can think to say. And that we have seen now from understanding that the God of the Bible, the gods of the Bible are not that way, and the God that you worship is that way. We were able to understand the 144,000 as being a group coming, as we showed you straight from Revelation, coming from both sexes and coming from every bit of humanity, seemingly the word indicating from humanity at the very beginning until the very end, as Revelation 14 is talking about. So, the 144,000 are those that are complete. The 144,000 are those that are ready to move on to the next level. Those are the people that are ready for initiation. Those are the people that are deeply spiritual. It's the combination of all of the ages. Are there 9 cycles? Wow, that's interesting. 9 cycles for each patch of humanity? I don't know, but at any rate, it's time for us to get ready for our next step in our development as beings. And that might be for some of you a devolvement down in, just to stay in the low vibration, even go down to lower and just kind of, I don't know, be fertilizer for the next group. I don't know. But it certainly behooves us to be moving, growing. It certainly behooves us to do what, to do all we can, to be all we can. And towards that end, we do have a $1.99 sale on all of the ebooks. JeffreyDaugherty.com, ChristianWhistleBlower.com. You can also check me out on Twitter at unindoctrinate. And of course, we are also on Facebook as well. Now, please subscribe to this channel, like this video, share these videos, and let's help more people unwind their minds, and let's help more people, and why not let's help you unindoctrinate yourself.